Let's finish this.
Take your best shot. On your right!
Night. When will the sun rise?
Bodies are still warm. Kostya must have passed by recently. We should move.
Stand back.
think, just jump.
Daylight. Essence we have not felt in centuries.
You. I know you. Come. Speak.
Now. Here. Now. It cannot be.
My brother. Soul of my soul. How did you find me here? A god beyond the grasp of gods. What is the will to a man subject to one like them? I told Sapadal not to look for me. I did not wish to be found. I have been here for so long. No one came looking. Andrew, you are blessed, my fellow Parkroman said. But I did not come here to meet Sapadal. I am hiding from them. I remember it all. I feel Sapadal's mind beneath yours, swimming in the deep. You should run. That was the name they gave themselves. Stolen from the ancient souls, whose deaths gave rise to them, to us. We were little more than appendages to them. That is why I must ask you to destroy them. You have seen them, as I have. Memories of their ancient, chosen children. Rips in the fabric between the here and the beyond that allow the dreams of the dead to leak through. Memories of the Akida. People like you, or I, who loved Sapadal and were betrayed by them. This land was once a jungle, rich, alive. I saw it through their eyes. The people tried to look after themselves, to rely less on Sapadal. But to be relied upon was all their god desired. They felled a tree, and for that slight, Sapadal turned their world to ash, ignited the breath in their lungs, and made their people into dust. Sapadal burned their world, and the people who revered them suffered for it. So that I would be confronted every day with what our God had done. So that I would not grow weak and give in. So that I would not go to them and do what they have asked of you. So that I would never set them free. No. Their final death came later. A gift to the Agida from the true gods, who wished to bring their children back to them. Back to her. The rightful queen. Woedica. She is the center. The center of everything. Yes, you see them with eyes unclouded. The ruined cities, the crevasses cleaved into the earth. They remade the land in their image. It reflects their twisted heart. You, my brother, who are more brave than I, go now to the garden and hang the gardener from their tree. Your mind cannot understand it, but your soul, when the opportunity is before you, it will know what to do. You need only walk a little more. You are nearly at the end. You know, I always meant to die down here. To siphon my soul into a lonely pillar, disconnected from the stone that makes our world. Disconnected from them. I only hope that Sapadal releases you to the same long peace. I do not know my end. In that I find a peace beyond any even the true gods can dream of. It is only a door, carved and warded by my own rough hands. It knew me. It will know you, because the same thorn tears at us both. Do not thank me. Only do as I asked. Destroy them, brother. And when you see Woedica, tell her I said hello.
Strange. Phantasmal focus picked up something, but it's gone now.
You okay? You went away again, but this time it seemed different. And I thought Solace Keep was big. Sluice gates ahead. Let's find Kostya, fast. Lava's high. We gotta hurry.
You made it. I thought all of you adherents were killed when the volcano erupted. Help me destroy this winch. We can't risk someone turning it and opening the gates. If the keep falls so that we might live, so be it. You're not one of the adherents? The Inquisitor didn't send you. Did you have something to do with that? No, I don't want to know. It doesn't matter. The Wardens are what matter now. I am destroying this keep. When it's gone, the Wardens will be free of Nandru's oath. We will no longer be bound to this wretched tomb. All I need to do is destroy the winch, close the sluice gates, and let the lava take the keep.
The evacuation's already in full swing up top. I don't fully understand what binds the Pargrunen here, but if destroying this place frees them, I say let it happen. Our business is elsewhere anyway.
You must be here for the garden, just like the other adherents. So long as you do not interfere with my work, I will not interfere with yours. Nandru's path to the garden is through the door behind you. Why? Dark days are coming to Eora. At least there are two of us with our eyes open. The winch is yours. Destroy it, and the keep will be destroyed, and my people will be freed.
Burn, then grow anew. A flow to purge the weight. We twine.
Why help my settlement only to condemn this one? It makes no sense.
If destroying Solace frees these people from a dead oath, let it crumble.
Get to the garden, and I must see to my people. See you on the next turn, dear.
Good work, but we shouldn't stick around.
Envoy, I'll give you this. You know how to leave an impression.
Another once mighty settlement goes up in flames. For better or worse, you are a catalyst of change. It must be a heavy burden.
It takes a special kind of clarity to do what needs doing. Especially when it looks like this.
You Adiran Kamayu. Take a few more moments to think closely before you go destroying your friends' homes next time.
Where's this coming from? Solace wasn't a home, it was a prison. We all saw that.
What gives you the authority to decide the fate of an entire settlement? That fits the Steel Garrote, but not you.
Darling, think it through. The Pargrunen was stuck rotting in their keep, and the envoys freed them.
What about those who wanted to stay there, huh? What life are they free to live now?
Whatever life they want. Same as you chose when you left.
Oh, so because I wanted to leave, it should be destroyed? I had no idea I had that kind of power.
Darling, it wasn't your decision. Clearly, you didn't wish it.
Well, I guess that's all there is to say. While you're sitting here refusing to justify what you've done, my people are watching their home get swallowed by lava.
That's what Adir wants. For us to stop worrying about our own destiny and leave it in their hands.
Agree to blested disagree.
I think we could all use a break. Let's camp and get some rest, hmm?
I, for one, could use a long rest. And I'm betting the envoy could, too.
Right. Looking forward to it.
Marius, I know Solace was a lot of things, but it was once your home. It can't be easy to see it fall.
Not sure what to say. That was my home, but I left there for a reason. Part of me thinks it was about time those walls fell. Envoy? Blacked out at that Adra and the lava tubes beneath Solace, but it seemed different somehow. Right. I actually believe you. This is madness, Envoy. You spoke to the founder of Solace. Well, that's not what I was expecting. People in Solace always claim they're speaking the word of Nandru. And here you are, actually hearing from the man. Doesn't even really matter what he said, if you ask me. There are hundreds of Pargrunen who'd give anything to hear Nandru's voice. Blessed day impressive is what that is. Envoy, what do you need? Thanks for talking.
I must admit, I had my doubts about Solace. It was like a dungeon, except the wardens were the prisoners. What possessed you to destroy the keep? You broke an egg to make an omelette, in other words. Maybe it isn't all bad. Maybe now the wardens can decide who and what they are, with no traditions holding them back. Or maybe I'm guilty of wishful thinking, trying to find meaning in the midst of chaos. Wherever you go, you break people out of their habits. You banish the old ways. Or perhaps you don't give yourself enough. Wherever that power comes from, whether it's your heritage or political status, it's a terrible burden. I don't envy you, but at least you keep things interesting. What are you so curious about? Pleasant dreams. Let me get this straight. You spoke to the spirit of Nandru, a godlike, same as you. What did he say? Any advice? Any words of encouragement? Oh. I take it that wasn't what you expected. I should have seen this coming. Never listen to the dead. They're cynical, full of regret, and determined to make us all miserable. Thankfully, you're still alive. Fate is in your hands. What happened to Nandru was ages ago. Plenty of time to reconsider one's choices. No one is closer to Sapadal than you are. Nandru lost that privilege when he died, which means you alone can judge the god of the living lands. Your opinion is the one that counts. That's all right. When the time comes, you'll figure it out. For what it's worth, I think you're going to be fine. No matter what you do about Sapadal, it can't get any worse. I wish I could say the same for the living lands. Go on then. Don't be shy. Not before I've done some reading. Yatsli, I have a theory.
Oh, do tell.
I believe...
Everyone made
Can't
it out.
believe it's gone. What do we do now? Where do we go?
Still alive, eh? Good. It's you again. Welcome to our new home. I know it isn't much, but if the smith can reforge himself, we can rebuild from this. What can I do for you?
Great. He did not deserve this. I'm sorry, my boy. I could not save you. Of course, the outsider would survive this. I'm sure you are. What do you want?
Oh, praise be to Magrin, you're alive! There have been too many losses as it is.
Many of us felt something strange moments before the eruption.
This will be our most difficult trial yet. Magrin preserve us all from Galawain's wrath.
Good to see you again. How can I help?
The keep has fallen. What strange times we live in. Maybe this is a good thing.
It's going to be all right, little brother. Think of this as a chance to find a new home, an adventure.
I don't want an adventure. I just want my home back.
I can't believe it.
Everyone, keep calm. I'm sure the council will have answers for us in no time at all.
The keep is gone, Envoy. I cannot believe it. Surely something must still stand? Free? You call this freedom? You call our loss a good thing? Tell me you're lying, Envoy. It can't be true. It can't all be gone. Where is Kostya? He won't lie to me. Thank Nandru that he is alive. There is mercy in this universe. I've decided. Kostya will assume leadership of the Pcgaming. He has always believed in a better life for our people. One that I could not provide. If he wishes to retain me as an advisor, I will stay. But I failed at the oath I swore to Nandru, to keep our people in solace and protect the garden. I did everything in my power to uphold Nandru's oath. And it brought us to a place of conflict and ruin. Kostya sees a better life for our people. And he believes I stand in the way. Perhaps he is right.
Hey, I might have something for you, Envoy.
Good evening. What do you... You too.
Closer. We have waited so long.
Well, this is it, I guess. Feels very different from the last time I left Galawain's Tusks. And now, without Solace, there's no reason for me to ever come back. Upset? No. You only destroyed my lifelong home, just as I was reconnecting with it. No big deal.
Please, be honest with us, Marius. Are you going to be alright?
I'll be fine. It's not like I have any more childhood homes that can be destroyed.
Solace is gone, but its people aren't. You're still here, and we're still with you. Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fjord, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Especially when they're led by a woman who doesn't seem interested in staying dead. Not to mention, after we take care of the Envoy's little god problem, we'll still have an empire bearing down on us.
Who knew an Archmage could be so relatable?
Can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place, but it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear ya. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plans and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the great unknown, a land of mystery.
We have to remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
Can you imagine? An untouched spiritual wilderness just waiting for us. I have a theory about the garden, or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams, their nightmares, their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind.
Sanity won't get us through the garden. Madness opens the mind to discovery. So madness is what we need right now. Before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to free Sapadal. Set them loose upon the world. Is that still the plan? You're not the only one. Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the living lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. Just the one you believe in. Putting an end to Sapadal's imprisonment, one way or another. Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature, if you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go back on my promises. What about you, Giatta?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsli, if you feel like running back to Quilici, now would be the time. No one would think less of you.
And tell Quilici that I missed out on the most exciting part.
And you don't have to. We pull together, and that's plenty.
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not. I have to find out what the big deal is.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all the fun. Hope to see you out there, Marius.
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your god waiting.
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the living lands. Where it all began, and where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Ugh, why am I so anxious? I think that I'm juggling so many variables that it's impossible to focus on even one. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan? That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine what we can do with it. I almost turned my back on animancy. And if I'm being honest, it was a relief. But now that we're here, who am I to reject my upbringing, my potential? My parents were going to build a better world for animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did, to an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. Of course you are. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it. Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
Okay, but if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Let me think of a good one. There are so many, I can't decide. Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city. Many years ago, when Fior Mesiverno was barely a dot on the map, an animancer got lost in the wilderness. He came upon a pair of ancient trees, their trunks and branches intertwined. A strange light shone in the space between the trees, and beyond that light, a city of gold. So the animancer returned with an axe to chop the trees apart and fit his body through the narrow gap. But with every blow of his axe, the towers of the golden city fell. The walls crumbled, the lights flickered out. By the time he made it through, there was nothing left. Only the bones of a once mighty civilization. As for the two trees, they were dead, hacked to splinters, leaving him no path back the way he came. Of course. Which one did you have in mind? One sunny day, a ranger took a nap in the woods of Emerald Stair. He awoke to a forest of dead trees, the night sky full of unfamiliar stars. After getting his bearings, he walked in the direction of Fior Mesiverno, but the settlement was gone. In its place was the most beautiful garden, hills bursting with flowers, the grass as soft as Valiant silk. Enchanted by this vision, he bent to pick a rose, but its thorn cut like a knife, severing 3 fingers. Then, a voice filled his head, shouting, "Go now, before the land takes you, body and soul." He awoke in his own bed, a wilted rose clutched in his 2-fingered hand. Of course. Which one did you have in mind? Once upon a time, a young girl left town to fetch water from the local well. After pulling up the rope, she discovered the head of a Delimgan, one of the tree folk, staring at her from the bucket. "Return me to my grove," it said, "and I will grant you 3 wishes." So she carried the head into a peaceful clearing and sat it down on a tree stump. First, she wished for long life. The head granted her wish. Second, she wished to be impervious to a sword blade. Granted. And finally, she wished to know what happens after we die. No one ever saw her again. All they found was an Adra pillar in the middle of a clearing, next to an old stump. I heard it as a child. Took me years before I would fetch water again. Very perceptive. What do you think it is? I have my own opinion, but I'm curious about yours. That is true of many places, not just the living lands. These stories might not shine any light on the garden, but they could inform the way we think about it. First, the garden is beyond all mortal understanding. If you think you're safe here, you're not. And second, when you walk into the unknown, make sure to bring a friend. Indeed. I couldn't have made it this far on my own. Hey, you're a good listener. Not everyone has the patience to hold their questions to the end. Alas, that is all I can tell you about the garden. For now, at least. Certainly. You've heard them all, but I don't mind repeating myself. Well, thanks for listening. For you, anything. Anything in particular? Who could rest at a time like this? Does anyone want to share a scary story?
No. Go. Wonder if Yahtzee brought her ladder. That's gonna be... Nice of someone to mark that spot for us.
That's it. The heart of the garden. Sapadal's cage.
Coming in hot.
Is he really an art? I get the feeling he's actually...
Don't see a better way down. You first. I'll be right behind you.
Don't look down.
Can't we take a closer look? Please? What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. It's not fair. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? Wanna know what I think? I think someone's laughing at me. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward!
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
This is almost as bad as Ringram's creepy sculptures.
Oh my gods. They're alive? How? Where would I even begin?
Giatta Castell, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
No, this can't be. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat, but that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good animancer embraces death, and they were the best.
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapadal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual, organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends. Drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
That's 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. You're right. I'm the one who has to live with the consequences of their actions. If you seek forgiveness, look for it within. Don't ask me to give up any more than I already have.
We understand. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way. The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to.
Now that you have returned to the garden, Sapadal has everything they need. We will fade, as all things fade.
Don't be. Nurtured or neglected, every garden dies in time. We will return to the soil from which we emerged. In time, you will do the same.
A garden is whatever you plant in it.
Sapadal wishes to be understood, as all mortals do. Seen, as all mortals are. What you see is the truth, glimpsed through their eyes, and they wish to share it. Our purpose draws to a close. A long rest is assured. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
This feels like one of those times when getting answers doesn't mean getting closure.
All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapadal's. That's what I keep asking myself. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. I suppose I have been all this time. I just never realized it. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand, and it's creepy, but wonderful. Perhaps, as long as no one gets in my way. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think? Of course you trust me. I'm brilliant. But we've been together long enough that I value your opinion. The thought has crossed my mind, but no. I burned that bridge, and I don't regret it. Politics and small minds held me back for too long. I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right. So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it. Knowing me, maybe a little too ambitious and unexpected. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giatta Castell, so I'd better make it count. Hey. You helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
You're good with the animancy stuff. You should keep, doing that.
Hey, Giatta. How are you holding up after seeing those, plant people?
Well, I've seen things not intended for mortal eyes, and uncovered the dark truth of my family's downfall. But here I am. And how are you?
Don't worry about me. I just want to know how you're feeling.
I'm complicated. But at least I know what happened to my parents.
Knowing's one thing. Feeling okay about it's another.
Yes, that part could take a while.
As long as it doesn't turn into a ghost story, I'm here if you need to talk.
Envoy, what do you need? Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Giatta. She's not so bad. She keeps saying things to get a rise out of me, but... pleasant dreams.
Let me think. We're talking right now?
When you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place. I'm a man of hidden depths. What's not to love about floating islands and a spectral tree? Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. You make it sound like we have a ticking bomb under our feet. And judging from Sapadal's outbursts at Mount Forja and Naku Kubel, you're probably not far off. There are a few provocations away from disaster. Uh-huh. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. you know, if Sapadal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. And I don't envy you having to deal with a loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, I mean, when, we escape this place. Lucky thing your Emperor sent his best representative as his envoy, right? You'll have your work cut out for you. You may have averted the attack on Fjord, but this is one situation where it's the thought that counts. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise animancy. Not when Heelgard banned the practice in Paradise. Oh, I wish I were finished. Ringram may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. It doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach. And then there's Solace, the oldest continuously inhabited stronghold in the Living Lands, the pride of the Pargrunen, now reduced to ash and rubble. Hey, I know you did it for the right reasons. Too bad no one else will. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's gonna be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Hilgard's been helping matters while you've been out here. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. I admire your principles, but don't underestimate what they could demand of you. Look, I've been there. I fought for Rauatai's interest in the Deadfire for longer than I like to admit. I lost my stomach for it eventually. That's how I wound up here. But I will tell you now, I never could have fought my own brothers and sisters. I hope that's not what it comes down to. But I'll understand if that's a line you can't cross. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. Anytime. Good night, Envoy.
So those green people... Envoy, what do you need? Not before I've done some reading. Right. As we were saying. So those green people in the garden, those weren't your parents?
No. They were Sapadal's dreams given more.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Your soul is small. The essence weighs like the sea on your chest. We feel the pressure, darkness, yet somehow strengthened resolve. We wonder. We did not foresee this. A debt of knowledge. We concede. The sky is green. The fish breathes air. We can no longer imagine. We would run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. Disturb the dirt, but spare the blooms. Shake the roots slowly. Vengeance denied. Squandered. This cannot be. We spoke of flowers. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Envoy, what do you need? Until next time.
I see the disciple has found his way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
I'm everywhere. My tools have mouths to speak.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. You suspected. Then you must have understood why.
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Chaos has no respect for borders. It goes where it will. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. Of course I did. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. You dare claim the domain of the gods is trivial? Mind your tongue. Your blasphemy strains my patience.
Why does our prison not protect us? Help us! Silence her!
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. Then they will keep applying the rod until it understands. But there is still time. You can succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
Never understood Woedica's appeal. Still don't.
That's it. From now on, I pray to no god.
Show me what you got!
Behind you!
Speed up! I'll fix this.
We make a good squad.
I liked them better when they were dead.
Protect the envoy. That'll show him.
What is that? I know that place, right? Oh no. No. Why is this? They're dead. Like, it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Giatta. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Giatta, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. I can't be certain of that. I know that I am here, and for a purpose.
I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Then for the god's sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
I have as much closure as I'm going to get. I am part of this land's god now. A dream of the land.
Were you always such a blessed day poet? Or is that a death thing?
Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now? What? Worse than Ianku's tragic death?
I can't say I loved that part most.
We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. More like tolerate, in my case, but... right.
See what I put up with, Envoy? Still wonder why I left Solace?
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Well, it was... good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
Ready, aim.
Stay on your toes.
Right behind.
That's one for us.
I recognize this. It belongs to Tama.
You seeing this too? No. No. This can't be. This room, it looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your God's prison, not mine. I can't tell. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. As long as we're both seeing the floating islands and the ghostly tree, I can't blame this on drugs. To be honest, that would be easier. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? Then why does he look so unfamiliar? I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything.
All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. I'm not. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. Yeah. I never realized what an injustice I was doing to us both. You're right. I am. It's like you said. His memory is no longer a burden. For the longest, I was afraid to let go of this moment, like I'd be letting him go if I did. Now I see I was just holding on to something that was weighing us both down. Better than I could have said it. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the Dream Scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? I suspect you're right. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
Here it comes.
Little power goes a long way. Charge it up.
Stand back. You must one's mine. Coming from your right.
Good shooting, Kai. Just a little spark. Little power goes a long way. Just a little spark. Charging.
Ready, aim.
should have brought my sketchbook.
What is happening? As the affliction fester even here? It threatens our heart. We cannot fight this invasion alone. See clearly. We must.
Little power goes a long way. Charge it.
Another win, but who's counting?
yesterdays before. A curse. Ancient whispers. Do not let it escape, they said. We feel no spark of the Tibari Sinakis in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone. The deer, the owls in our trunk, they took it all away. A tide of souls thrown upon the wheel. The ground gives way. We fall. Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly. The stillness of night split by grinding steel. A chill in our spine. How could we name it? First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then, they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed. A means to an end. We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey. Prune the branch, 3 grow in its place. We persisted, we were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they trap the stars? Then, they turned to what the Akita had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze. They could not kill us. They would curse us to oblivion. The Akita howled. They died. We cried out, sundered, soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves. Our flailing smothered the cries. Were they theirs? Ours? The needle struck. They raised machines. We tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then, nothing. Not death. Worse. A void. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves. Their cries, swords in our heart, a severed limb. We watched helplessly for aeons, until you. A chill wind, our branches shudder. We do not think of this. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison, we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here. Fish swims in circles. We are not sure we understand. We feel the hatchets in our bark. Our scars no longer pain. Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Here we go!